Hello. Hi, everyone. So, I felt compelled to make this video because I posted some things in a Halo group on Facebook, and maybe I'll just post this video right in the comments, but, um, I wasn't about to make a novel out of that initial post. I didn't want to take time to explain every single detail of my opinion, but, I'll say this, fuck it, let's just start from the beginning. Like, I did really like that Halo multiplayer, and I liked playing it on PC with the extra maps and all the terrible kids that couldn't compete with me. Man, they were bad. Like, I'm not saying I'm, like, great at video games, but they couldn't do shit to me. They couldn't do shit to my brother. And we were, like, well, my brother's pretty good, but, like, I have a life. I have hobbies. I don't have, I'm not like a pro gamer, but I think I have educated opinions about video games just from playing too many of them. But I would just fuck people up playing Halo on PC, Halo 1. But like, goddamn, I can't emphasize enough that single player was not good. Like, the combat was good. That was the only thing that was good about it, because the environments were just a drag, all of them. Like, you look at the first 30 seconds of every level in that game, and you know what you got. Like, that's it. Oh, we walking in circles? No, the developers are just fucking lazy. And then Halo 2 came out, and none of the levels were like that. I mean, yeah, a little bit in that like brown Mexico looking level. I don't know if it was supposed to be like Southern California, but like that, or like Arizona. But a little bit of the brown areas of the towns could be a little uninspiring. But it was most of those levels, like, you were seeing new shit all the way through. It wasn't copy and paste level design that just made every level boring after the first 60 seconds. And in the Halo 1, don't get me wrong, those flood levels in Halo 2 sucked too. They sucked less than the Halo levels in Halo 1, which the flood levels in Halo 1, which were just awful. They were just abysmal. Like, and when I talk about Halo 2's balance, you'd start with that fucking SMG and you'd just get picked off if you were in the open. Like, you'd get sniped so commonly on Ascension. Was it Ascension? The one with the 2 towers and it's floating. It's been 20 years since I played the game. But, yeah, you get popped in the open right after you spawn. Like, you just have to run to a better weapon. Like, that SMG wouldn't do a damn thing, period. It didn't matter if you were good. It would do damage if you were like right up close, but like, if they meleeed you, they would do about half a clip's worth of damage if they hit you. Up close. So it was like, it was a garbage gun until you comboed it with something else. Halo 1 was good because of its balance. No matter which weapon you had, you could really do some damage. Like, that pistol was the best gun in the game. But even if someone dropped you with a couple shots with that pistol, like, one shot, if you're going no shield, they typically would get picked apart by everybody enough to where, because they had health in the first game. They took away the health bars in the second game. You could pick them apart to where they eventually they get brought down. There weren't people, you didn't have people whoring the most powerful weapon in the game and getting a shit ton of kills just because they had a gun that was OP. It came down to your skill, and like, it wasn't, they found a way to make the game balanced enough to where everyone could have a good time. Even if you were bad, you might get a couple kills in. But Halo 2 wasn't really about skill at all. Halo 2 is just about what gun you had in your hand. Like, if I had 2 pistols, like, I would fuck you up. Like, it was just and you were dead. Like half a second of gunfire. Um, you know, we got so tired of the lack of balance in Halo 2 that we just felt like we should play nothing but SWAT forever. So we would just do no shields and rifles forever. And that was a blast. That was great. The only flaw with that game mode is you had to shoot someone with like 20 bullets if it was in their body. It just didn't do damage if they were body shots. It was like they had shields or something on their body, even when you had shields off. I really loved Halo 2 though, like even though it was unbalanced. Like that's what people don't understand from what I wrote. Like I like the franchise. I think I emphasized that. So I just didn't. I mostly just focused on the flaws because I did say the best levels in Halo or the Halo 2 are the best levels in the franchise. Like that. The best levels of Halo 2 are so good. Like some of the best levels of any game, and you know, but like the bad levels in that game really drag it down. Like the second half of the game where you're just walking around these purple spaceships, it's kind of boring. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it's boring. Um, but they have like 5 really good levels in that game. The rest are kind of meh. And then Halo 3 came along, and I thought that whole game was like 3 out of 5 material. Like I mean, it was good, just good, but it wasn't great. Like the best levels in Halo 2 were 10 out of 10, fucking phenomenal. There wasn't that in any of those levels in Halo 3, but we didn't have a lot of bad levels in Halo 3 either. Like it was a good storytelling device. And the flood levels were actually not. The flood levels were actually not bad in Halo 3. I didn't mind the flood levels in Halo 3 because they added variety to the enemy types, and you could kind of see what enemy they transformed from. But the thing I don't like about Halo 3 is there was never a moment where I was like, yeah, this game is fucking awesome. It was just like, yeah, this game is fine. And the multiplayer, they did balance it better than Halo 2, but I think it's almost impossible when you have so many weapon combinations. Like it's like impossible to make that game balanced, but they did the best they could. It had great multiplayer, you know, like Halo 2. It had great multiplayer. I felt like the whole game, multiplayer and single player, just seemed a little slower than Halo 2. I don't know why. But I liked Halo 3. It didn't stick with me like Halo 2 did. Like we were hooked on Halo 2 for years, for like up until Halo 3 came out. And then I played Halo 3 for like a year, maybe 6 months. You know, like it didn't stick. It didn't stick like Halo 2 did. I still like it, but it didn't have an impact like 2 did for some reason. I think part of the problem was they didn't know what to do with mid-range weaponry. That submachine gun didn't have enough range, and they replaced the assault rifle with the SMG, and then they made the assault rifle like a mid-range actual assault rifle like you would have in real life. But like rapidly everything just fell back on the battle rifle. Like even during Halo 2, they made the primary weapon that battle rifle because the submachine gun was so shitty. It was such an unfair weapon to start with. But then it kind of became a long-range affair, which didn't make the game harder, but it just meant the battle rifle was kind of the best gun in the game. Not the best. Like you hit someone with a rocket, they're fucked. But like, you know, it was you could do you could do so much with that battle rifle. So it just kind of became the gun, and it made a little less interesting. But what do you do? Like, it's hard to solve that short range to like the mid range combat situation is very complicated. Um, I loved Halo Reach, but I think with Halo Reach, and I liked ODST a lot too. We'll just say that I liked ODST quite a bit. But Reach, my only flaw against Reach was like it was such a rifle heavy, almost Call of Duty like, not like a Call of Duty, but it was definitely leaning harder into Call of Duty than before. Um, and it just, I don't know. I wasn't down. It was fine. Like, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but it really didn't stick, even harder than Halo 3. But I liked the PvE horde mode, the firefight mode. I thought that was fantastic. We spent a lot of time playing that. I think Halo, from that point on, became more about PvE than PvP. I don't think they made a good multiplayer since then, since Halo 3. And then I really did like the Halo Reach single player and the firefight mode. I thought it was fantastic. That, as far as like, I think that might be the best. I still think Halo 2 has some of the best levels in the I mean, the best levels in Halo 2 are the best levels in the entire franchise, period. But there's a lot of good levels. I think there's only one moment in Halo Reach where I felt it kind of dragged a little bit, and it's when you're bouncing from rooftop to rooftop with that helicopter, and you kind of clear one or two more buildings more than you'd like to. It's kind of like, okay, I've seen enough of these buildings. Like, I'm kind of over this bit of it. But overall, like, I remember the whole game being good, like better than Halo 3. It was quite good. The story was good, and I really liked it. I did miss the dual wielding, but I think that they just wanted to make a balanced game. And on top of that, I think you can tell a more serious military story when everyone's not going blah 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 blah, like, cartoon cowboys. But it makes it much easier to make a balanced multiplayer game. Because it kind of resembled Halo 1 in the end. Like, it kind of had a lot in common with Halo 1, the multiplayer. Because you're back to holding one weapon. And then after that, I think they learned, like, yeah, it's much easier to make multiplayer with one gun. And I kind of, as much as I complain about the two guns making, the dual wielding making multiplayer unbalanced, I miss it in the games. I do. The stripping down like, if you had a plasma gun and a human gun, you'd really fuck them up. Let's do a bowl rip, and then we'll wrap this conversation up. Okay. And I didn't play much, so I beat Halo 4, and with Halo 4 I thought, great, we're gonna get some change, and the change didn't really come. They gave us those new robot-y enemies, and they were no fun to fight. Those flying guys, they were no fun to fight. I like their cool floating guns, but like where the parts float around, they weren't fun to fight. and then the Covenant ends up coming back into the game. And then in the end, after Halo 4, like, all I know is we end up fighting the Covenant for the rest of the games again. I didn't, let's just skip Halo 5 because I like touched that game and I was like, man, I just can't. Like, I don't know. There's a reason why I haven't heard about this game. I think Halo Infinite is a good game. I should just beat that single player because I like that grappling hook, and I don't think the open worldness is a problem. I think part of the reason why people don't like that game is I think Halo still needs change. We got our fill of the elites and the grunts and the Covenant and all that. Like, those games were great. Like, we can move on. We can move on to Halo Master Chief on a whole new star system, fighting a whole new set of enemies in a whole new environment. That would be interesting. Whole new story, whole new characters, Master Chief in a brave new world. Why not? You know, imagine him in this lush pink and purple and green and all the, you know, whatever monster alien snakes coming out, and I don't know, whatever. I'm just making up shit, but like, we need change. Like, that's why I have a hard time playing Halo Infinite. I just feel like I've played enough of these Halo games as we know them. Like, I would like a whole new facelift. Keep Master Chief around, maybe, you know, probably, but like, I want these games to feel different. I think that's I wonder if, because people say Halo Reach is a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's really, or excuse me, people say Halo Infinite's a bad game. It's really not. I think it's quite good, as far as at least the single player and the firefight mode. I didn't get into the multiplayer, but I don't think it's because it's bad. But the single player and the the PvE firefight mode, I enjoyed that firefight mode, but it's like, I'll play one game and put it down because I just I've played so much of this. You know, I've played so many of these fucking Halo games the way they are, shooting these Covenant bastards. Like, it was fun for like 4 or 5 games, but I've kind of moved on. But I'd love to see something unique at a Halo. I don't hate the franchise. People getting their fucking feelings all fucking tied up in a knot about what I said about the franchise. We just need Halo to surprise people, I think, the way that it surprised us in the first place. How are they going to do that? I don't know. But I think a lot of people are I think they're just not, maybe, I don't know why no one has said what I've said about it just being a little too long in the tooth. But anyway, I'm rambling. But that's, maybe it's not everything that I think about Halo, but I just don't have time to talk all night, you know. So these are some additional thoughts.